Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another inspiring episode of 8 Ounces of Inspiration. And today I have a very, very coveted artist with us who has been creating inspirational and absolutely real life designs, bringing people's visions into their homes through her work with Copper Crush. We have Anuradha Prabhakar with us, who is a mural designer, sculpturist, artist of all kinds, where she works with metal, wood, resin, glass, fiber, acrylics, charcoal, and creates beautiful pieces of art commissioned to create people's homes into what they really, really envision their lives to be, to give insight into their aesthetics as well as their vision. She has done some amazing work for the municipality of Dehradun. She's done some commissioned artwork overseas in the USA, as well as she has designed spaces and walls in homes, resorts, restaurants, what else? I think departmental stores, as well as office spaces. So she makes everything more beautiful. She makes everything more visually appealing to the eyes of the beholder. And I really want to thank her for coming to our podcast to share her journey with us. So Anuradha, thank you so much for being with us today.
Pleasure, Nidhi. Pleasure.
So I really want to start with my first question to you, which is, did you always know that this was going to be your career path? Did you study to be a designer and artist? And how did this idea of turning this into a venture, Copper Crush, came into your mind?
Interesting question, Nidhi. From my childhood, I saw my mom creating stuff. I always see her as my first teacher. So very early in school, I knew that I am going to be away from academics and I am going to do something creative. What was not clear till then. But of course, my journey took me to Sir J.J. School of Art, did my metal craft from there. And from there on, there has been no looking back. To be able to create something new each time is what has always been the desire. And starting from 6-8 inches small frames, accessories, to handling the government commissioned project, which was 100 feet long. That's how the size has grown, the vision has grown. And that's how the venture came up, Copper Crush. Because when I got married, Naren was always there, supportive, of course. But after the 100 feet long project that we did together, we realized the amount of potential there was in both of us. And strangely, we saw that I am art and he is design. You know, art needn't have a meaning, and design needs to work. So we realized we are a great team, and so Copper Crush was born, and yes, here we are today.
Yeah, so I see that he handles the entire design, the turnkey, the project side of it. and you come up with the artistic element in terms of designing a particular wall or a mural or a sculpture that,
Right.
for the projects, right? And that's where your artistic, so which is a great thing, because when husband wife can work together as a team but still have their own separate lines of delivery of their abilities, I think that keeps a little bit of the, what should I say, tips off the table. But it, instead of being two, it brings it to being 11, because you're amalgamating your forces together and being a much, much stronger force in the thing. So I'm sure that as an artist, usually I see that artists are great with their artistry, with their imagination, with their creativity. But mostly in my interaction and my work with them, because I work with a lot of artists for the business side of their work, they struggle with the business challenges because they're not business people. They are not those who can always put money or profitability as priority. They get emotionally carried away. So I'm sure you have also had some certain set of challenges in your professional journey. Share with us, what have they been?
Yes, Nidhi. So the marketing side is a whole different game altogether. That's how we connected with you, and here we are together.
Yeah.
So we need people around you all the time. But yes, as we progressed, we do realize, I do realize today that creating something on paper and envisioning it, making something beautiful is totally is just one part and is different. But to sell it across, to convince the clients that that is what is going to look beautiful, or to handle the budget with them, is a totally different game that needs to be handled. So it is an ongoing challenge, and for me as an artist, I feel that so much of Chinese, if I can say so, so much of Chinese art is available that there is a constant tussle between us and the client to make them realize that what is quality, what is real classy stuff that would look nice. Because any day people would compare and then go for something that is cheaper, that is easily available. And we make our work even more tougher because we do one of a kind works. We don't repeat. So there is a certain premium that we want to add to our creation. So my constant everyday challenge is to convince people to go for something different, something novel. And yes, often architects are there to help us through, to do the convincing part. But I could say that with the exposure, thanks to COVID, in fact, strangely, that now they are realizing that we need some quality stuff. Yeah. So let's focus, yes, on what is locally available. A lot of our design fraternity is now focusing on the local market. We are evolving ways to come up with certain creations that meet all the kind of clients,
Yeah, all budget requirements. Fair enough.
Yes.
Have there been any challenges in, say, payment cycles? Because a lot of the times, the industry that you're in, right, the biggest pain point with people that I've spoken from this industry or those who come to me for coaching has been payments get stuck. Clients don't make payments. The last part gets like just dissed and it's not received. Or people take, some of the challenges are that they make you create the design and then they get it copied by giving it to somebody who's cheaper or who could be like an intern level.
Yes.
And the ethics are somewhere blurred in this industry, right? Like people don't understand. Have you felt such challenges or faced such situation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Nidhi. And, I feel the biggest challenge is people will remain the way they are. So they are not going to change. You've just read out all the challenges. The biggest challenge for me today is that I'm emotional. That's why I'm an artist. As long as my emotions are alive, I will do good art. And I am now learning that emotions need to be kept aside. There need to be certain rules. I feel those challenges are there because, and in our case, both of us are very emotional people, very honest, willing to just absolutely do our best, often give them more than what we have committed. So the biggest challenge I would say is I'm looking at it the other way. I think it's not the people because we can't change them, but it is a part of our nature that we need to change. Just be very methodical or like practical about it, that these are our certain policies and this is the way we function.
Yeah. I think
So
taking those challenges into processes and then making them your absolutely no budge points can
yes,
move those challenges into actually opportunities and doors that will open out for you.
yes.
Which brings me to my next question that your daughter works, in your firm. She's one of, the guiding you, the
Designers,
that is
yes.
going in, right? So she brings in a fresh breath of energy and creativity. So all of us as parents, right? We inculcate certain values in our children right from childhood, which are very, very core to us. And this could be like, say, honesty, that no matter what happens in life with you, you always got to be honest. You have to just say the truth, speak the truth, right? Or somebody could be that, look, humility has to be there, like it's not compromisable, or respect for elders or anybody, right? What are the two core values, since you have been so inspired by your own mother, right? What have been two core values that you have instilled in both your children?
Well, for one, be humble, be human, respect all, because above everything, besides being successful in life, having great ambitions, working for your goals, how you are as a human is how you are as a person is very important. And I think it is just one of our predominant qualities in our family. I would say that be it the staff, be it your elders, be it your seniors, your grandparents, all need to be respected, So, and it really starts from the low level. It starts from the driver in your house, So you would never hear kids in our house being disrespectful to staff because they can afford to be. No, that's not there. And no substitute for hard work. My kids always blame me for not getting their holiday homework done from outside, not helping them in doing those drawings. My son just blamed me the other day for not sending any extra tuck than what was allowed in his boarding, like only makhanas, only homemade stuff, nothing extra. So yes, no, absolutely no substitute to hard work.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that speaks a lot about you, that you like to play within the rules and regulations, right? And not cross course, because even if nobody's looking, how are we being, right? So that's a great thing to inculcate in the children, because I think, like you said, humility, respect for all is key to a child's well-being overall. And I think hard work, of course, there is absolutely no substitute, and we learn it much later in life as we grow older, that there is no substitute. There's no mother who's going to come every time to rescue and smother you, right? So you had, like you spoke about, your mother being your first teacher, that you watched her, she was creative. You are a working woman. Your daughter works, right? So I can see this pattern or this lineage of this, empowering women in the family to be on their own, to express their creative vision of whatever they want to do, however it is, right? So now share with me, how powerful or empowering was it for you? Maybe you didn't understand as a child, to see your mother being engaged productively or creatively, whether it was in social work or whether she did something financially, for financial benefits. And but now seeing you work, how has it impacted your daughter? And what kind of messaging have you sent? Why is it so important for her to be financially independent?
Um, Nidhi, I grew up seeing my mother being a whole person. And it's not just finance, it's feeling like being a complete being, feeling confident in who you are and what you can be, you know. And for me, more than financial independence, it is that confidence that you need to have in your own self. It's the emotional confidence, which I think even comes before working. She did a lot of things commercially, but I feel in a small town, those possibilities were limited. But at all times, I saw her as a very, very confident person because she lived her passion. She got support from my dad. She doesn't even know now how much potential she has because she worked her way around the house like an interior designer. It's a beautiful 100-year-old house. So she we've lived through seeing her creations. And one thing I relate when I think of mom is confidence. And that's what I feel even today. When I started working, it was not that I had to work. I am financially secure, but to feel who I am,
Yeah.
to you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Naren told me just one thing when it was my first project after I got married, that look, don't run after the money. Just do your work. Money will follow. And that's what I say. That's what I tell Nia today. That irrespective of you, nobody needs your money, right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll find you a house which is going to be which will sustain you. But how do you know who do you are? How do you come to know the person that you are? You need to find your own self, and you need to be happy alone. Today, maintaining a social quotient is a very, very big challenge these kids are facing. So, whatever you are doing, if you find yourself alone in that journey, then don't let that bog you down. Because you need to be happy within your own self, with who you are. You say that love yourself first.
Absolutely.
And when you love yourself, when you engage yourself in your passion, then you respect yourself, you respect your time, you have confidence in yourself, and that's when you gain respect from others.
Yeah.
Nidhi, I can count the number of people I know who are financially independent and yet not respected enough. What I think as a woman, what we need to work upon is emotional independence. We grow up depending on our dad, then we don't realize it. Then we depend on our husband, then we depend for our happiness on our son. I mean, it's human, mothers with sons and fathers with daughters. We don't realize how dependent we are. And I feel that if today with my work, I'm blessed, I'm creative, with my work, if I make myself emotionally independent, I will focus on my passion even more, and money will follow. Anything that I will do today in this technological world, which I can just put on social media, be it embroidery, be it cookery, be it just about anything, just writing from my own, it's going to fetch me money. Yeah. Finances today are easier, but to handle our emotions in a healthy way is what is tough.
No, I completely agree with you. I think working is so important for women because that's the only way, like you said, we discover ourselves, we discover our innate potential. And it is important to make us feel completely whole and perfect. Because we are nurturers, that comes to us very naturally, taking care of the home, taking care of the elderly, our parents, kids. That's just something that's given and we never go, even if we try. But then this side of it is not nurtured enough, which we need to make it a complete full package for ourselves, for our own well-being. And fortunately not for a lot of people, they don't have to do it like we said for the finances, for the money, but it's still important to work because the world needs more of our uniqueness, whatever we can bring on the table, right, to help. Uh, in this journey, being a creative artist, being in the creative side, uh, do you land up managing your finances or the money that you earn yourself? Do you have a financial manager who does it for you? An external, like a wealth manager, or do you just not do anything with it and let it stay in the bank? How do you manage your finances? I'm kind of curious to know.
Unfortunately, it's the last point because my husband is there to take care of everything. I feel really lucky there. Um, but in fact, for the longest time, I never paid attention to this part really. But of late, I'm realizing that it is important to be aware. It is important to understand how money can work, how if you are earning and saving, then what does one do with that money? I mean, your first challenge of earning, and then how it can work for you. So there was a time when I said I am not a number person, so Nareen, you take care of this. And he's doing it even now. But I feel it's important for us to read, to be aware, and to at least talk about it, and figure out ways, or make yourself just updated about what can one do or how things can happen. Even if I am by his side as a spouse, nudging him that okay, let's do some savings, even that is important, rather than not bringing the subject up at all. And going a little further than that, I feel, if nothing, investing, at least investing in metals, pure metals, is one thing. I thought, don't put too much brain into it, at least just do that.
Yeah.
So you have something tucked away. So that's a lot of solace. So eventually it's the savings that gives you that comfort, and at the end of the day makes you an even more confident artist, makes you pursue your passion even more, because at the end of the day you do need the finances to keep moving.
Absolutely. So in fact, so I'm an MBA finance, so I don't practice it, but one of the things I remember learning when I was pursuing my finance degree was, it's more important to know how to make your money work for you and grow than just earning. And a lot of times we have these panel discussions because everyone wants to know how to create wealth, and we talk about this. The financial knowledge for women is very, very important, because nowadays the fact that we all are very well educated, we all have a good lineage of the education institutions we come from and where we were. A lot of people are earning good money. But why is the world still feeling scarce? It's because we don't know how to grow that money. We don't know how to make that money work for us. And we it just becomes like a earn and consume. So how do you create freedom for yourself from those finances? Where even if you decide one day that I want to take a sabbatical, that I don't want to earn money because I want to move into a completely social service sector and I may not get that kind of income, have you prepared yourself enough that you can still keep running your life and lifestyle through that money that you have saved and grown? So I think that knowledge is very, very important for women to have, and we must read more and attend more webinars. You read, right? You write, you read. So I would like to ask you, any book that you have read in your life that has really struck a chord with you. Share the name with us so we can also pick it up and read.
There's this book, Wabi Sabi, by Beth Kempton.
Okay.
And yes, that Wabi Sabi, if you've read about it earlier, actually is a Japanese philosophy. And it says how there is beauty in imperfection. There is beauty in what is not permanent, And I feel, I read it and I said, oh, wow, this is what Copper Crush is. you will walk up to me and you will tell me, let's put leather here and steel here and high gloss duco and pu, and we would like to bring in some rust there, and try to put in some piece that's really grounded, that's close to nature. So creating art, sustainable art, doing restorations where you take old stuff and give life to it, is what Babi Sabi is. And Nidhi, that is really who we are. You
Yeah.
know,
It
so
truly
that
is.
is.
Seen your pieces, and I think what you'll create are really unique and masterpieces. And it really gives life, like I said in the introduction, that your work gives life to something that's just, it's a room, that's a room, right? It's an ordinary room. And then you put one of your sculptures or you put one of your artwork, and that room comes alive and it gets a character and it gets its own identity. And I think that's what is so special about Copper Crush with what it brings forth, right, in its elements, in its entirety. Your artwork and also the furniture design that y'all do. I've seen the gorgeous chandeliers that y'all make, custom made. And to me, that is so important because we all build our homes or offices once. It's not that we are building it every day. It's not a wardrobe that gets changed every day. So to create, like you said, to not just have things picked out from the shelf, there's a place for that. But to put uniqueness where is something that is appealing to your eye and that you see every day, aesthetically, that it has to warm your heart, is important, and people have to understand the benefits of it that a designer or an artist brings. So yeah,
Yeah, like you just said that beautiful houses could be created, but how do you get the warmth of a home? And that is what we try to do. We would try to give some earthy element, and we always encourage a photo wall, a wall with all family photos and everything, put up really nicely, because this is what is lacking nowadays. A lot of interior is getting very synthetic, very
yes,
hotel like. So
absolutely.
yes, so that is what we try to do here at Copper
And
Crush.
you have done a lot of work overseas. I know you've got some commissioned products. I was reading your bio on LinkedIn, and you've done commissioned artwork in the US. And I think from there, doors open, and then people, because Dubai is a very big haven for exclusive homes. People want exclusivity with artwork, all of that. So I'm sure doors are going to open for you because Europe, Middle East, and of course from US, more of US, Canada is going to open out for you. So how do you envision yourself, say 3 years down the line? What do you envision for yourself? Do you want to be doing more international projects, more commissioned work? Do you want to be doing more work with the government? Or what are some of the things that you're aspiring to do?
I was waiting to answer that question. Yes, Nidhi, I absolutely dream to be known as a muralist, as a sculptor globally. It's and urban art, like you see a sculpture in the malls, or you see our airports absolutely as hub of art. If you've noticed, there are railway stations, metro stations, which have long murals that have been created. So I want to be one of those artists who get a chance to do so. A lot of, yes, to answer your question directly, a lot of government commissioned artworks is what I'm working for, and I would like to do that. And I have always wanted to run an NGO for street kids. My heart always goes for those kids on the road, and kids who are then physically abused. You will not believe, once a day the thought crosses through my head as to how they must be dealing with their experience. And I hope I can do something for those kids someday. And through my art, give a message or spread a message to the society of how we need to be mindful, how some of us who have enough, who have been blessed, and who have ample, could or need to. It's our duty to give back, to give back to the society and do whatever we can in our own way. So I already have a design log where I'm creating and sketching out sculptures and mural designs which convey the message that I sort of have in my heart. So yeah.
And I think really, especially hearing you and the service instinct that you have inside you to work with these children, I think using art to help them heal, to help them express their emotions, because then they're working with some elements that they can forget about the trauma or the scarcity that they see every day. I think can be so therapeutic for them, and I think it can make a huge difference in their well-being and how they will shape up as they grow. So I think that's a very powerful thing that I hope your life will start to drive now you towards doing that simultaneously and giving hope to more children for a better future. A quotation that you find yourself very often repeating, it could be from a book, it could be from Gita, it could be something that you've just created on your own, but something that you live by and you resonate with and you use a lot. Share that with us.
I just read this the other day, and I could resonate with it so well. There is a crack in everything, and that's how light gets in. So really, I could wrap up our complete thought process about who we are, about how we work, about the kind of stories we create. Is absolute beauty in imperfection.
I find
To be natural.
I find hope when you say that, because if you come and see, one of the things with me is I'm very chaotic. In my chaos, I find my peace. But not everybody understands that, right?
You know what Pablo Picasso said, Nidhi? Art is chaos.
Yeah.
So love that chaos, and the moment even I am disorganized, and I am pointed upon every now and then, but I love the way I work, and then there is room for some days are better. It's like that. So yeah.
Well, on that note, I want to just wish you tons of luck, that may every home around the globe find some piece of your artwork decorating some part of their home, and may they find that as a source of peace and a source of their own vision coming alive through your artwork. And I really hope that very soon you will find a partner or a way, and doors will open for you to work with these kids so that you can bring art into their life and give them hope for a better future. I wish you all the luck, and thank you so much for being so authentic with us, for sharing your personal journey with us, and for telling us how things have worked for you and how you have been so imperfectly wonderful in your work. Making imperfection so perfect and so sounding so amazing. Thank you for doing that. Some of us who are imperfect or chaotic suddenly feel not so bad about ourselves.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you so much. I loved it.
All the best.